Hello and welcome to another exam paper walkthrough. Thank you very much for joining me. Today I'm going to be looking at GCSE Maths, and I'm going to be looking at a June 18 paper 1F, and I'm going to be looking at an AQA pass paper. So this is the this is the foundation, the non-calculator paper that AQA students sat back in 2018. I would strongly recommend that you have a copy of the paper either beforehand or that you've done beforehand or to do alongside the video. Attached to the description to this video, you'll find a link to a Google Drive where you can download a copy of the paper. If you've not already done so, I would recommend you do that before watching the video, just to get the most out of the video. I'd recommend a bit of music on in the background. I enjoy doing exam papers when I've got a bit of music on in the background, so I've got an ear pod in while I'm recording this, just because I find that more enjoyable. I'd recommend you do that as well. This is all questions. I have done a few half paper series. I might chop this down into half papers, so watch out for the title of this video just in case I've already chopped it down, because I'm setting these as homeworks, but I haven't chopped this down properly yet. If you find this useful, please do subscribe if you like. And before we get into the paper, I'm just going to bring up, this is the question level analysis for this paper. So there's 32 questions on here. And it tells you the mean mark achieved by grades. This is kind of grade boundaries for this paper, which is quite useful. And it also gives you this, I find this really interesting, the question facilitated by grade. So it kind of tells you, if I take the typical grade 4 student, they found this is supposed to get progressively more complicated. So go from green to redder. So it kind of tells you which questions kind of stumped students, kind of where we weren't expecting it to, particularly this one, fractions to decimals, caught a lot of students out. It's just quite useful when you think about how hard the paper was. And the chapters to this video are going to be linked as the topics. So if you find a particular question difficult, you can get independent revision based around the topic area afterwards. Right, let's crack on with the paper. Okay, so here we go. Let's kick off with question 1. So work out 1/2 times by 5. Circle the correct answer. So I'm going to treat this. So 1/2 times by 5 is going to be 5/2. But none of these are improper fractions, so I'm going to convert that. So 2 goes into 5 fully twice, with 1 left over, so I'm looking for 2.5. There we go. Right, question 3. Simplify 3 times a times 3 times a. Well, I'm going to split my numbers together. So 3 times 3 is 9, and then a times a would be a squared. So 9a squared. There we go. Right, question 5. Work at 20% of 14,000. So on a non-calculator paper, I would tend to follow this as a method. I would say that 100% of the number is 14,000. So I'd say 10% of the number is going to be kind of adjust the place value to 1,400. So 20% is going to be double that. So 2,800. Question 7. Rectangular carpet measures 8 meters by 6 meters. Part of the carpet is covered by a square rug of length 2 meters. So we're told that it's a square. Show that 1/12 of the carpet is covered by the rug. Okay. So I'm going to work out the area of the carpet first of all. So I'm going to, so I'm going to say that 8 times by 6 is equal to, and we did that some few seconds ago, is going to be 48. And then the area of the rug is going to be 2 times 2. So the area of the rug is going to be 4 meters squared. Should really include meters squared there. So show that the area that's covered by the rug, so that's going to be 4 out of 48. And then I'm going to cancel both 4 and 48 down by 4. So that's going to give me 1/12, which is what we were asked to show. Right, question 9. The time in Rio is 3 hours behind London. The time in New York is 5 hours behind London. What is the time in New York when it is 1 o'clock in Rio? Let's kind of start with the New York time. Sorry, let's start with Rio time. So if it's 1 a.m. in Rio, no. So let me just get this clear in my head. So Rio is 3 hours behind London. So let's do the three times and let's write it this way: Rio, London, New York. So if the time in Rio is 1 a.m. and Rio is 3 hours behind London, so we would need to add on 3 hours, so plus 3 to get the time in London. So London would be at 4 a.m. And then New York is 5 hours behind London, so I'd need to minus 5 there. So that would take us to 12 a.m. That would take us to 11 p.m. And question 11. 300 passengers go on a coach trip. Each coach takes 50 passengers. Each passenger pays £25. The table shows the cost for the coach company, pay for the driver, and then the fuel. Each coach travels 200 miles. Work out the total profit the company makes from this trip. So each coach can take 50 passengers. So first thing we need to look at is how many coaches are needed. So 200 divided by 50 is going to be 4. So we need 4 coaches. So the cost for each coach is going to be then well, the cost for each coach would be £90 for the driver plus uh, distance. Where are we? 200. So plus 200 times by 0.7. That's going to be 90 plus 20 times by 7 is 50, 140, so £14. So each coach is going to cost me, let me just double check that in my head. 2 times 7 is 14, yeah, it's for £14. So each coach is going to cost me £104, and we've got 4 of them. So we need to do 104 times by 4, which would be a total cost of £416. So that's the amount of money it's going to cost them. Next thing we need to do is each passenger pays £200. So we'll change pen. That's the amount it's going to cost. And then the amount of money that's going to be made is going to be 300 times by 25. So that would be 7. Oops, that would be 75 with 2 zeros. And I think I've made a mistake here because this is just a big difference in numbers. Yes, I have. I've missed a 0 off here. So let me add that on. So the cost for one coach would actually be £230. So the cost for 4 would be so 230 times by 4 would be 23, 46, 46. Just checking through it because this number was still out. Divided by the wrong value. So it should have been 300. Quite sure where I got 200 from. So I'm after 6 coaches. I want to times this by 6. So 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 3 is 18. And then 6 times 2 is 12, 13. So I then want to do the amount of profit, 7,500 minus 1,380. 0 take away 0 is 0. 8 take away 0 can't do, so we exchange. 10 take away 2, 8 is 2. 4 take away 3 is 1. And then 7 take away 1 is 6. So I make it £6,120 profit. Right. Question 13. In a game, 2 fair spinners are spun. We've got 2 spare spinners. If the numbers the arrows land on are different, the score is the higher number. If the number the arrow lands on are the same, the score is 0. Complete the table. Okay, so higher number. So we've got a 2 again, a 3 again, and a 5. 2, that would be a 0. That would be a 3. That would be a 5. That would be a 4. That would be a 4, 4, 5. That would be a 6, 6, 6, 6. That's going to be my table. Write down the probability that the score is an odd number. So we've got a total of 4 times 4. So we've got a total of 24 outcomes. And how many odd numbers have we got? We've got, let's just put a little blue line under the odd numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So I'm going 5 out of 24. And I've made a very silly mistake here. 4 times 4 is 16. That should have been a 16 there. 16 outcomes. Part C. The same game is played using spinners C and D. The numbers on C are shown. The table shows some of the possible outcomes, some of the possible scores. I'm assuming we've got to fill in, write down the missing numbers on D. So we've got to have a 4 there. We would have to have a 4 there. We would have to have an 8 there. And we'd have to have a 7 there. So 4, 4, 7, and 8. Okay. Question 15. So we've got 3a plus b is equal to 7 and 6x plus 8y is equal to 40. Show that 9a plus 3b has a greater value than 3x plus 4y. Okay, we can do this fairly easily. So if we start with 3a plus b is equal to 7, then if we want 9a plus b, we'd need to times this by 3, and we'd need to times this by 3. So I'll do it underneath. So times by 3, times by 3. So that would give us 9a plus 3b, which is what we're trying to show, is equal to 7 times by 3, 21. And then if we go to the other side, so we've got 6x plus 8y is equal to 40. So we want it to equal that, so we need to halve it, or divide by 2. So that would give us 3x plus 4y is equal to 20. So 9a plus 3b must be greater than 3x plus 4y. Question 17. A is a negative odd number. Circle the word that describes a squared. So negative odd number, so negative squared is going to be equal to, well, negative times a negative will be positive, and an odd number times by an odd number is always going to give us another odd number, and then odd times odd will always equal odd, so it's going to be a positive odd number. Positive odd, positive and odd. Question 19. Circle the percentage that is closest in value to 1/3. 1/3 would be technically 33.3 reoccurring percent. So the one that's closest to that would be 33 1/3. Okay, question 21. Reflect the triangle in the line x is equal to 2. So the line x is equal to 2 would be this line here. So if we reflect that, that point would go there, that point would go there, and then that point would go there. So that's going to be my reflection. Rotate the kite 90 degrees anti-clockwise about the point 0, 0. So anti-clockwise is going to be this way. So this way. So this point here is going to move 90 degrees, so that would move to there. This point here would go 3 across 2 up, 3 across 2 down. So the point would go to there. That point would go to U3, that point would go to there, and then that point would go to there. So that's going to be my 90 degrees anti-clockwise. No, I've got one point in the wrong place. No, I haven't. (23) A solid shape is made from centimeter cubes. Here is a plan, side elevation, front elevation plan. So that's from above, that's from the side, and then that's from the front. Centimeter cubes are added to make this cuboid. How many cubes are added? So we need to add on. I'm going to kind of view it like these as rows. So this front elevation would be, that edge would be that there. On the front elevation, that would be that row there. So the amount of cubes in this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 cubes have been used for the shape that was currently there. We want to make it 3 by 4 by 4, so we want to use a total of 3 times 4 times 4. So we want to use a total of 16 times 3, or 12 times 4. 12 times 4 is slightly easier, so 48. So I make it that we were going to use 48 minus 19, which is going to give us 29. Okay, question 25. The height of Zach is 1.87 meters. The height of Fred is 1.6 meters. The height of Fred is 1.6 meters. Write the height of Zach as a fraction of the height of Fred. Write the height of Zach as a fraction of the height of Fred. So that seems like I'm looking at 1.86 over 1.60. Right, I'm going to times both by 100, so 186 over 160. I'm going to cancel both down by 2, so that's going to be 100. So that's going to be 94, 93, sorry, over 80. I'm just trying to work out whether there's anything else that will go into them both, and I can't spot anything. So I'm going to say, I think that's perfectly fine. I think 93 over 80 will be acceptable, but I'm going to convert it to a mixed number and say 1 and 13/80ths. Okay, question 27. A coin is thrown 50 times, it lands on a head 30 times. Write down the relative frequency that it lands on heads. It lands on heads 31 times, so 31 out of 50. Red says the coin is biased towards head. Use the data to give a reason why he might be correct. Use the data to give a reason why he might be correct. So the expected frequency, expected would be 25. So 31 be 25 heads. So 31 is quite higher, which may suggest bias. So 29, the range of a set of numbers is 15 and a quarter. The smallest number is -2 and 7/8. I work out the largest number. So we want to do -2 and 7/8 plus 15 and a quarter. Okay, so I'm going to do this like this. I'm going to do my number part and my fraction part separate. I'm going to convert 1/4 to 2/8. So that would be 13 and 9/8, which would be 14 and 1/8. I should have done minus there, sorry. So that would be, so that would change quite a bit. So -7/8 plus 2/8 would be -5/8. So 13 plus -5/8 would be 12 and 3/8. Right, 31. A large rectangle is made by joining three identical smaller rectangles as shown. The perimeter of one of the small rectangles is 15 centimeters. Work out the perimeter of the larger rectangle. So the perimeter of one of the smaller rectangles, so that means these four sides added together. So let's just see what we've got here. So we can actually say that, okay, this is, seeing whether there's a nice quick shortcut on this. I can't quite spot one. So in effect, if we've got, let's call these lengths X and Y. So we know that 2x plus 2y is equal to 15. We also know that 2x is equal to y, because that's shown here. So in that case, we can say that y plus 3y, plus 2y is equal to 15, so y must be equal to 5. And then x is half of that's 2.5, so x is equal to 2.5. Although we can kind of say that the perimeter is going to be 1, 2, 3y, 3y plus 1, 2, 3, 4x plus 4x equal to the perimeter. So that's really what we want to try and find. I don't really need x at all. So I can say that 3y plus 2y is going to be 5y, so it's got to be 25. Okay. Okay, so again, that brings us to the question level analysis at the end of the paper. So again, hopefully you kept track of how many marks. If not, feel free to count them up now. That's our rough grade boundaries for this paper based on the students that sat it back in 2008. And also that facility by grade also tells you kind of which question came up as the most complicated for students. I think, interestingly, the plans and elevation came out as pretty much the weakest one across the board, even though it wasn't judged to be the hardest before the paper was sat. So that's quite interesting. The chapters for this video are linked to the topics, so you can scroll back to a question if you want to get the particular topic as well. And if you found a question particularly complicated, that's kind of the topic that you need to look at in a bit more detail. So thank you very much again for listening, and I hope you found this useful. If you did, please do subscribe, and you get the updates as soon as other videos are published, and I will see you again soon.